Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to QPAC Live, a program of the Queensborough Performing Arts Center on the campus of Queensborough Community College in Queens, New York. It's wonderful to be with you tonight. It's Friday night. We did it. We're here celebrating the weekend together. And we come to you live every single week to celebrate the arts with programs that are unique and exciting. And tonight is no exception. We have a few announcements before we begin. On Saturday, we've got Gotta Dance. We still have two more sessions left. This is our Gotta Dance Kids. If you know a young person between the ages of 8 and 14 that would like to participate in a dance program, this is the one. Great, wonderful Broadway choreography. The camaraderie is wonderful. The kids would love it. It's just 1 hour from 11 to 12, $5. So do consider signing somebody up. That's for tomorrow at 11 a.m. And then we are taking it to the streets. Yes, we are taking it to the streets. Now, we just love being here with you virtually, but imagine how much fun we're going to have at the drive-in. Now, these concerts that we're going to have one in May, one in June, and one in July, they will get sold out. They are socially distanced and you're going to have a super time with all safety protocols in place. Let me tell you just a little bit about that. Here I am. So these concerts will take place at the Bay Terrace Shopping Center in Bayside, New York. And you'll come in with your car. There is a ticket price for a single occupancy car. That would be someone coming by themselves in their car. And then there is a price for the full occupancy car where you could have two or more people in the car with you. And yes, there is tailgating. So every car will be spaced out. There will be spaces in between each car, and you'll be able to take out a chair or a few chairs if you have with you and put them in the space between the cars so that you are fully protected and sit outside and watch these fabulous concerts. Also, for those of you that are familiar with the area, we've got great restaurants at the Bay Terrace Shopping Center. There's Outback and Applebee's and Pizza and Ben's and Panera. You name it, they've got it. And what's wonderful is you will be assigned a spot and you can order food from any of these establishments. They will bring the food to your car. So food, fresh air, live entertainment. How can you beat it? If you'd like to join us, you can do so by going right onto our website. That's www.visitqpac.org, www.visitqpac.org. And I'm going to show you just a little sample of who we have coming up. Our first concert, our first drive-in concert is the Doo-Wop Project. Oh my goodness, these guys will rock your world. This concert is Sunday, May 23rd at 7 p.m. And again, you can get your tickets just by logging on to www.visitqpac.org. That's Sunday, May 23rd. And there are rain dates. We don't want you sitting in the rain. If it rains on Sunday, then the concert moves to Monday. That's Sunday, May 23rd. The fabulous Doo-Wop Project. Take a look at them online. They are excellent, superb. You'll have they'll have a smile on your face from the moment they start until the moment they finish, and then long after that. And then the next concert, the second concert, well, it's the fabulous Soul Cruisers, Destination Motown. So they're going to do all your favorite R&B songs and also Motown. And do we love Motown? That takes place June 27th at 7 p.m. And again, what a wonderful environment. You can sit outside. You could be safe among people. What a wonderful concept to be with people again, for all of us to be together, to enjoy the same experience at the same time, outside, live, but also be safe and following all of the protocols set in place by the CDC. So we're excited about that. Do consider joining us. Now, are you ready? Are you ready for the big show? Folks, she's back. She's back. And let me say this, she could have gone anywhere. She could have gone to Madison Square Garden. She could have gone to Lincoln Center. She could have gone anywhere, but no. She said, I've got to be with my friends at QPAC. So, here to explain a little bit more, take a look at this.
Good evening and welcome. And before Miss Rivers arrives, let me explain to you some of the process of becoming Joan. As an Italian male from the Bronx, first we must glue down our eyebrows, followed by a facial foundation. And next we do what is called cream contouring, to create the facial structure of Joan. And then we powder, we blend. And the next step is we do what we call powder contouring. And we then shape the eyebrows that we need for Miss Rivers. And then we add bronzer and blush to bring, the face to life. Next, it's our eyes. So we then create the eyeshadow to make, the eye pop. We add a very sensible lash for Joan with a good amount of eyeliner. And of course, we love a little mascara. Who doesn't? So mascara away. We then seal the deal with a face sealer before we then highlight our cheekbone and our brow bone. And then the final act in it is lips. We add liner, a nice amount of color for Joan. And then we put on the signature hair, and then voila, hello. And now, please welcome the best act in her price range, Miss Joan Rivers.
Hello. Wait a minute. I'm taking this mask off. Do you know what I paid for this face? Would you buy a Ferrari and keep it in the garage? No. My face is like a J-Lo movie. It might not be very good, but a lot of people worked really hard on it, and the budget was huge. But wear your mask. We got to be careful. But here I am, here for QPAC Live. I'm so thrilled. And I'm back from the heavens for one night only. And I chose QPAC to be here. And I'm actually, I'm in my apartment in New York, my penthouse apartment. Look at this. You've seen the pictures. It's all gold encrusted. It's fabulous. It's like if Maria Antoinette had money, this is how she would have lived. But I'm just so happy to be here, and this apartment is great. And heaven, it's not all it's cracked up to be. Can we talk about that? It's not. They say to me, Joan, you're in a better place. You're in a better place. I'm thinking to myself, I'm not in a better place. I had a house in the fucking Hamptons. I'm not in a better place. And Jesus, he's always up my ass. Can we talk? Because I have a foul mouth, and I'm always running around going, Jesus Christ. And he runs up from behind. What can I do for you, Miss Rivers? Oh, gosh. But I'm here to be with you in my penthouse, which is great. But the only drawback, I live on 62nd and off of Fifth Avenue, which is great. Great apartment. It's the penthouse. But the only I have Filipino neighbors. Yeah. And they eat dog. Can we talk about it? No. They say, Joan, don't say that. Take it out of the act. We don't eat dog. And there's a leash hanging from her mouth. They eat fucking dog. And they invited me one day 3 years ago for Thanksgiving dinner, and the turkey had a Frisbee in its mouth. I mean, they eat. Oh, God. Speaking of food, I mean, quarantine, can we talk? It's very tough. I gained, so much weight. I wouldn't say I'm eating a lot, but in one day, I burnt 3 bulbs in the refrigerator. Yes. You know, it's the bread. It's the bread that kills you. Can we talk? It's the bread. Bread is like the sun. It rises in the yeast and it sets in the waste. And now I'm going to have to go to Overeaters Anonymous all over again. And I hate going there, those fat bitches, and they complain to me. They say, Joan, nobody loves me. I'm fat. Nobody loves me. I said, that's not true. Your butcher loves you. Your baker loves you. They say, well, when I buy an airline ticket, they make me buy 2 seats. I said, look, you get 2 meals. The bitch perked right up. Think about it. But it's hard, it's very difficult these times. It's very lonely. My sex life, well, first of all, my sex life isn't great because at this age, it's my sex life is like skiing. It's all downhill. It's hard when you get older. There are 3 sure signs you're getting old. The first is loss of memory. I can't remember the other 2, but you're getting old when you buy a sheer, sexy nightgown and you don't know anyone who can see through it. And dating older guys, can we talk? I dated a guy, he gave me a hickey. He left his teeth in my neck. It was awful. He said, ooh, Joan, you want to meet my parents? I said, sure. He took me to the cemetery. To him, going all the way is making it to the bathroom on time. Awful. But I did it. I had a date. It made all the New York papers. Maybe, Susan, you've seen it. Anyone in New York. And he died. We were at Joe Allen's restaurant in New York City on 46th Street. And he died at the table. He was so old. He died at the table. And I had to reach in his pocket and get the American Express card. Well, I wasn't going to pay. There's no future there. Pick a finger. And then I had another date. It was so boring. He was so dull. He didn't even know he was in the room. You date these assholes. I dated a guy who was such an asshole. He used Preparation H for sunscreen. And they're old, one guy, we were at dinner. He had to pee 4 times and he never left the table. Oh God. And sex at this age, sex. Oh, it's horrible. The only good thing about old sex is you don't have to change the sheets. The nurse does it. But you don't want to hear grandma going, I'm coming, unless it's to answer the door. Oh God. But I was married, as Edgar. I loved Edgar. We were married years ago. Well, he committed suicide. Well, it was my fault. He committed suicide. We were making love, and I took the bag off my head. Surprise. No, but our wedding night, awful. Because we hardly had sex. For religious reasons. He's Jewish and I'm a pig. But our wedding night was a disaster with Edgar, because he wanted to make love with the lights on. And I said, shut that car door. And if you don't, the bus driver will. But the good thing about it, we had Melissa, my daughter Melissa. We're very close. But you got to be careful with daughters. You got to be careful what you say. You can't say things like, hello. But I had a Jewish delivery. Maybe a few of you know what that is. I had a Jewish delivery. They knock you out at the first pain and they wake you up when the hairdresser shows. I knew nothing. Miss Rivers, you had a girl. Good. Is it healthy? Yes, good. Is it white? Yes, good. The marriage will continue. Yeah. No, because I'm not a racist, I don't care if you're black, white, yellow, or green. As long as you can do my hair, that's what counts. Anyway, but it's lonely, talking about sex, it's hard. Oral sex. To me, oral sex is talking your way out of having it. Oh God, it's lonely. And the gays, any gays out there? I'm sure. QPAC, hello, hello. Gays, they're always online. Scruff, Grinder, those apps. The straight people, Tinder, and Christian Mingle. But at this age, to be, to have a one night stand at this age, think about it. To get the old guy out of the car, in the house, up the stairs, on you, off of you, re-diapered, back in the car, and home 4 days. Oh God, I miss travel, and in quarantine, and they should leave gay men and Jews alone at the airport. Yes, no gay man's going to put a gun in his luggage. There's no room. Think about it. They bring everything just in case. We're going snorkeling. I got the outfit. We're going to the opera. I got the outfit. And if a gay man wants to bring down a plane, he does not need a gun. He just knocks on the pilot's door and he says, "I'm dating your son." And a Jew, you want me, Yetta Bernstein, to put a bomb in a Gucci bag? Are you crazy? Do you know how many people I had to screw to get that Gucci bag? And she's not going to wear the bomb on her. Does it make me look fat? Can you see the bomb? Can you see the bomb? Oh, God. And now all the Jews, because I was just in Florida, which they're so old. Palm Beach, they're so damn old. And they're proud to be old. They say to me, "Joan, I'm 100 years young." Yes, and you smell. And you're sitting there damp. Horrible. And they go to Costco. Why? Can we talk? Why do you go to Costco? You're 100 years old and you go to Costco and you buy in bulk. Why? Why? You're buying 19 large jars of mayonnaise. Why? You're not even going to make it to the checkout counter, you old bitch. And she's writing a check. I'm writing a check. I'm standing behind her, double parked. I want to go, boo. Unless God likes sandwiches, you're an idiot. Oh God, so Florida. No, but I miss travel. I miss, because my life has been, my life has been grand. Yes, can we talk? I know, any PETA people out there? They say, "Joan, don't wear fur, don't wear fur." Well, this fur has seen places you'll never see out there. Yes, I've traveled and I've seen them all, and I know what it's about, and I have money, and that's a good thing. And I've met all the celebrities. You've seen me on the red carpet, during the Oscars, which is coming up in a few weeks. The Oscars, I've met them all. I do the red carpet, and yes, Melissa and I came up with a slogan. Who are you wearing? Sometimes I want to say, what the hell were you smoking when you picked that outfit out? But I've met them all. I'll share a few names. Goldie Hawn, she's a winner. She's like 100 years old. Another one, 100 years old. And, she says to me, "Joan, can you believe I have a grown-up daughter?" Yes. And lower your hem. Your nipples are showing. Goldie Hawn, she has a pacemaker, Goldie Hawn. She joined a wet t-shirt contest. She was electrocuted for 20 minutes. And I had to put the paddles on her. It's like, and the other one I can't stand. A lot of people like her. What's her name? I can't. She's always in the red dress with the white face. She looks like a ketchup bottle. But Nicole Kidman. Yeah, no sense of humor. One year I was in a mustard colored suit. I said, "Look, condiments." Nothing. No reaction. And the other one, what's her name? She walks right past me on the red carpet. She's so stiff, Gwyneth Paltrow. So stiff. She's more wooden than Betty White's first dildo. Yes. But the one I love is Angelina Jolie. Fabulous. Back in the day, now the career's in the toilet. But back in the day, Angelina Jolie with Brad Pitt, they would walk in with all these kids, all these kids, I didn't know if she was buying kids, selling kids. I don't know what the hell she was doing, And she said, "Joan, I treat all my children equally, whether I've had them naturally or I've adopted them. I treat them all equally. Isn't that right, little Alice, little David, little Margaret, and little Magumba? Isn't that right?" And she wants them to know their heritage. She wants them to know their heritage. I said, that's easy. Throw the kid in a room, throw a jar of flies in there, shut the door, they'll know their heritage. Think about it. No, but we can't go there. I don't want to go there. What do you think of this outfit? I love this. This is a great outfit. The jacket is by Bob Mackie. Yes. And the body is by Frito-Lay. Yes. Oh, God. Actually, I found this outfit in Lindsey Graham's closet, which is perfect. Oh, he has been in the closet so long. I want to give him to Goodwill. Can we talk about this? But it's lonely. Like I said, I've been watching a lot of Netflix. I'm sure a lot of you out there. What have I seen? Bridgerton. All the royals, the Crown. Because I love the royals. I've met the royal, but the closest I ever got to royalty was having my teeth crowned. But I met the Queen of England. She's fabulous. As a young girl, I only saw her on a stamp. So when I finally met her, I licked the back of her head. FYI, she's balding, Yeah. And I knew Diana, Princess Diana. I know we love her. She was a wonderful soul. She was so great, but she was never happy. She was never happy. Can we talk? She had everything. She was never happy. She had everything, Princess Diana. She was thin. She was gorgeous. She had 2 normal children. She had a husband that did not want to sleep with her. She had everything. And she had a crown. Do you know how many class reunions she could go to for the rest of her life? How you doing, Diana? Well, check my hat. That's how I'm doing. But I have a dog. That gets me through these quarantine days. I have a dog because years ago, I started adopting rescues when I was with Edgar, my husband. We adopted a rescue, and they said to us, are you sure you don't want to try having one of your own first? But I just got a new dog. I have 3. The third one I just got, Lulu. Great dog, a rescue, which I love, 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 love. Very unusual dog. It's part pit bull and part collie. So it'll rip your face off and then go run for help. And I'm very good at my, a lot of rich people, look at this. I have money. A lot of rich people, they treat, they say to me, Joan, my dog is pedigree and I have the papers to prove it. Well, my dog shits on the floor and I have the papers to prove it. But my life is fun, because as a young girl, ladies and gentlemen, my parents hated me. They hated me. They would say things to me like, Joan, why can't you be more like your cousin Sheila? Why can't you be more like your cousin Sheila? Sheila had died at birth. My bath toys were a radio and a toaster. Horrible. For Hanukkah one year, they brought me a battery that said toy not included. Oh, God, they hated me, I tell you. We'd go to Central Park, those New Yorkers out there, the Central Park Zoo. They would say to me, Joan, see that man in the trench coat? Ask him if he has a van. Oh God, it's hard. It's hard, but now things are good. I have a full life. I have a grandson, which is great. The only person I don't make jokes about is my grandson. Yes, little Cooper. And he's never seen me without a bandage. He has never seen me without a damn bandage. During quarantine, we were watching Return of the Mummy. He ran up to the TV screen, Grandma. But he's so cute. We go every year during the holidays, during his break, during Christmas and Hanukkah, we go to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, which is fabulous. I love Puerto Vallarta. It's so great. And he's very athletic. He likes to swim with the dolphins. And I'm like, what? I hate it, because, they shit in the water. We're swimming along in Puerto Vallarta. I look over, I go, is that a brown eel? And sharks. He wanted to swim with sharks, $250 to swim with a damn shark. So I ran over to the fattest woman I could find. And I said to her, I hope you have your period. Oh, never tell a man you're going through menopause. Listen to me. To this day, I carry a tampon in my purse, and if no one's noticing me and I'm at a Hollywood gathering, I pretend I drop it on the floor. Ooh, I dropped my tampon. And I'm cramping. And if they still don't notice you, you swing it around your head. That's what you do. You swing it around your head. And if they still don't notice you, you dip it in ketchup and you swing it around the room. Because it's all about looking good and feeling good. Can we applaud? I can't hear any fucking thing you're saying, but let's applaud. It's all about looking good and feeling good. Yes, yes, yes. That is really what it's all about. But I love that we can do this. We're on StreamYard, which is what the hell is that? StreamYard. It sounds like a place you put all your chickens. But I love it. The technology is great. At least we can be together and everyone can Zoom and work from home and kids can go to school. Because back in the day, and it makes me think. Back in the day, wouldn't it have been great if we had technology like this? Like Joan of Arc on Facebook. Do you smell smoke too? Or is it just me? or Amelia Earhart on Instagram. Where the hell am I? Or Mama Cass, the singer, Mama Cass on Snapchat. What should I have for lunch today? Soup or a sandwich? And the other one I love, I thought of the other night when I was laying in bed, Rosa Parks, fabulous woman, Rosa Parks. Imagine her, on Twitter, I think I'll sit in the front of the bus today. Hashtag, what could go wrong? Oh God, it's hard. It's hard, and my childhood wasn't great, and then you get older, and the vaginas drop. Let's talk about it, ladies. The vaginas drop at a certain age. My God, the other day I looked down. I said, "Why am I wearing a bunny slipper? And why is it gray?" But if my mother said to me, "Joan, one day your vagina is going to drop and it's a good thing. You can make love in the bedroom and still watch TV in the living room. It's a good thing." And if you live in California, with all the earthquakes, it's fabulous, because all you have to do is go and suction yourself to the ground. You're set. You ain't going anywhere. Hello. And men don't have it much easier. Balls drop. Yes, a man over 50 sits on the toilet bowl, looks like he's making a cup of tea. Where do you go from there? Well, where we're going to go from there, we're going to have a wonderful, wonderful evening. I'm so happy to be here with my darling. I love QPAC. Please support them. Support all the arts, Broadway when it comes back, off Broadway, and just because I love it. And QPAC, they're doing wonderful, wonderful, as Susan said earlier, my new BFF, they're doing wonderful, wonderful things to keep us connected during these challenging times. So I would like to, I hope you're having fun, because we need to laugh. And I want to share with you, Winston Churchill, to quote Winston Churchill, he said years ago, if you can make one person laugh, it's like sending them on a little vacation. So I hope that I did that for each of you tonight. And the night isn't over. So I'd like to bring my new BFF in. We're going to chat a little bit. Can we talk? Susan, hello. Where is she, Susan?
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
You bad, 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 bad girl.
Oh, well, then I did my job. Am I right?
You absolutely did. How are you? You look gorgeous.
Thank you. So do you, my darling. I love the Liza red lip you're wearing. You look great. You must
Always
be single. Are you single?
Yes.
I could tell. No, thank you. I try. And being back for one night only, I was able to get back in my apartment and do this StreamYard with you and talk with you. And
I'm so glad you did. I'd like to ask you some questions. I'd like to ask Joe, this is just the strangest interview in the world, because I look at you and I see Joan, but I know that you're Joe. And
yes.
it's just the strangest thing because I'd like to ask Joe some questions, but here I am looking at you as Joan. It's really so incredibly incredible. And I'm looking now, we're getting some comments
Oh,
from our viewers. Let me ask you a question.
yes.
When did the showbiz bug hit you? Were you dramatic as a child?
Dramatic. Well, we're talking Joe. No, Joe is very much. That's why this is so comfortable for me because I was always in my room with a hairbrush doing Barbara, Liza. That's how I started. You'll see some footage a little bit later. And I was in my room. I had no audience reaction. It was me pretending, as a youngster. And then now here I am alone in this little cell with good lighting,
Mhm.
doing what I did when I was like a preteen. So it's funny how things come full circle. But I started as a dancer to answer your question. When I was about 6 years old, my mom was a dancer and a dance teacher and got us all involved in dance. So, and I tapped jazz ballet, I did the Nutcracker, and different recitals. And then I did some community theater. And then I did, as a young teen, a late teen into my early 20s, I did a production, three productions actually, of West Side Story, the touring company. Yes,
Wow.
my friend Cal, he's watching. He knows, he loves that score. I was one of the dancers, and I toured all over Europe. I was like 21, 22 years old. So I was a dancer for most of my career and early on. So that's how
So
it started.
so when did you start doing celebrity impersonations?
Well, like I said, I'm from New York, so I'm born in the Bronx. I know you're Queens, so I was
Yeah.
able to be in Manhattan, take
Hmm.
classes, and so I started uh, I always had fun imitating Barbara, Liza, Michael Jackson. I had a knack for that, like
At,
doing.
at at what age? At what age?
So I was early 20s.
Incredible.
Always. But my good friends, when we would sit around the hotel room after doing our show, West Side Story, they would say, "Joe, do Barbara, get the hairbrush or the beer bottle, and do a little Streisand." So I would get into it, and they just gave me support without really realizing it. It gave me confidence, and then so I was in my early 20s, and then when I was 27 years old, the show An Evening at La Cage, which ran in Vegas,
Hmm.
LA. They were opening in New York at the Blue Angel Supper Club on 44th Street, and I went, I'm going to audition. I know I don't really know how to do the makeup and the hair, but I'm going in there. And the producers, Lou Paciocco, may he rest in peace, Mandy Dejanay, who was the choreographer, changed my life. She said, I was leaving. The producer said, "No, he doesn't really have the makeup." She ran after me on the street and said, "Come back, work on your makeup, come back Monday." And they hired me when I was 27 years old to do Barbara Streisand and Liza Minnelli in An Evening at La Cage when everyone in New York wanted that show. There were only 7 cast members. Everyone did 2 people. And I was doing the New Yorkers, Barbara and Liza. It was absolutely amazing. I learned a lot. They taught me the other cast members about makeup, hair, and I learned, and I'm always learning. If you're not always learning and improving, then what's the point, right? So that's how it's. So from 27, and now I'm like, years old. I'm actually dead, but no, I'm in my early 50s, mid 50s. So I've been traveling doing the impersonations all over the country. So yes.
Unbelievable. So, we have viewers asking questions. Rosemary, I think we answered your question. Um, about who you impersonated first. It would probably have to be Barbara.
Well, yes, Barbara Streisand, and then my good friend Artie, who Susan. He said, "Why don't you do
Yes,
Liza Minnelli? You're a dancer." But if I don't feel the soul of the character, then. But I loved Liza, and she just turned 75. Happy birthday, Liza! But I
that's
got it. I got it, and she was really the claim to fame because I danced, and everyone in New York said, "Oh my God, you're amazing." I did Michael Jackson. And I did Gloria Stefan. I did all the greats, but people said do Bette Midler, but
mm.
and she's energetic. But I don't feel her spirit. It's so interesting. I don't know. I think she's amazing, but there's something about her that doesn't connect. There has to be a yin and a yang with the character. Joan Rivers, and I got to know Joan, and we can talk about that a little more.
Well, we have a question. We have a question from Ivy here, the Ivy H that says, "Did you ever meet Joan when you were playing Joan Rivers?" Thank
Yes,
you, Ivy.
That's a great question. I did a red carpet event in Houston, Texas in 2006. I did the red carpet for a big fundraiser, and Joan was there to give an award away, and I had no idea. And they had us backstage. They
Is
took me
that
out
the
of like
picture
this.
we have of you? Is that the
No,
picture?
we're going to get to that. No, not yet.
Okay.
No, soon. But that was when I met her, and we were backstage. She goes, "You look great. You look great." And she did her little presentation, and we were in separate dressing rooms. And then she said, "Come in my dressing room. The show's over." And she loved me, and she was a yenta, Susan. She gave me all the leftover food in
Yeah. Yeah.
plastic. She said, "I
Yes.
love you. You're so adorable. Keep
Yes.
doing me. If you ever want to see me, call my manager," which I did. She got me house seats. She was amazing because she was very shy and reserved off stage and
Yes.
loved to live like this. But on stage, she was brassy. So there's a yin and a yang to the character. Streisand is very, strong as a professional, but she lost her dad at 10 months old. There's a lot there. There's a lot of quiet moments. So if there's a yin and a yang, that's when I can step in and bring truth to the character. So then Joan saw me do her act, loved me, and we would hang out. And we do have a photo. I don't know if you want to shoot that photo up, and I'll explain when that was taken.
Yes. 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 Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is fun. This photo, as we're pulling it up, this photo, look, me and Joan, this was taken specifically July 5th, 2014. 2 months before she died. She died September 4th, 2014. And this was in Provincetown, Massachusetts. She always wanted to play P-Town, and she never did. And that year she played Town Hall. Tony Tripoli, who I know and we do shows together, was her opening act. He became my opening act. We do a tribute show to this day. But he opened for her, and I saw her. That was the last time I saw her, 2 months before she died, shouldn't have died tragically. But she said to me, I'll never forget, I said to her, "Joan, I do you, and I always try to do you respectfully, and I do you respectfully." She said to me, "Do me disrespectfully. I don't care." She was so wonderful, and we had a great connection. So I feel like, I'm keeping her humor, her comedy alive, and I feel very fortunate. Very fortunate.
Joe, when you do Joan Rivers, do you do any of her actual stand up?
Yes, she has a repertoire. If you've seen, and if you haven't, A Piece of Work is the documentary
Yes. Yes.
on her life. It won a few awards. She wrote everything down. She had them on index cards in filing cabinets. So I watched a lot of her act. I pulled from it, and then I created my own jokes. I've heard jokes that I made, into Joan's voice. I used her rhythm. So, and
You
so
have her.
that's,
You have her rhythm so perfectly. You
well,
really do.
it's
Um,
like, a good friend of mine, Cal, he gave me a great joke. He's like, "I'm Jewish, and I always wonder, when you're married, who should make the coffee?" And then he says, "Well, I read, it says Hebrews." And that wasn't a Joan joke, but you make it a Joan joke. And then I write a lot of my own material and I use it. So it's all just a trial and error. And I love to try things out spontaneously. And the thing we're not really having tonight is the connection. I'm very good with the audience. So I can, I have an outline of where I want to go in my
Right.
program, but then I see someone in the front row looking as fabulous as you do tonight, Susan. And I'll say, "Susan, you look great. Who are you wearing? And look at your breasts. You could feed China with those breasts. Look at you." So I can interact with the audience and then go back to some jokes. So tonight, in this format, we don't have that, but at least here we are.
Here we are. Ronald Jacobs wants to know, is there any performance, I think he's saying dream, left for Joe? What would it be?
Is that Ron Jacobs, who I know from Coriopolis,
Ron
Pennsylvania? Good
Jacobs.
friend.
Ron
I know
Jacobs.
him years. I know his beautiful wife, Adrienne. We were dancers together, and that's her wonderful husband.
Is there
from
something else that you'd like to do?
that I would like to
Performance-wise?
do? Retire. No, no, I'm loving this. I feel like, friends of mine say, "Joe, you're funny. Why don't you take the makeup off and do stand up?" And but I feel like there are many comics out there that are great, and this is my sets me apart. This is what I do differently and gets me indoors that comics are trying to break down. I mean, I headlined the San Diego Film Festival as Joan, and I brought out the comics, and so this has enabled me to be more specialized doing this art form, and so but right now this is the journey, and but I'm always open to you always have to stay open and see what's
Rosemary wants to know, I see your necklace is a true Joan Rivers jewelry piece. How many do you have? Oh, do tell us the story about the bee.
Oh, okay. Well, she's right, Rosemary or Rosemary. This is
Rosemary,
the
Rosemary.
Rosemary, my darling. This is the starlet style, which is QVC, and it comes in different colors. We can get a little closer. Don't look at my tits. There we go. Okay, because they're on the floor. So don't worry, you won't see them. But this is the starlet piece, and I love this piece. So I have multiple pieces of Joan. This, as Susan started to say, I'm wearing a beautiful brooch, which is very expensive. That's fabulous. It's a lot of money, But this next to it is the bee pin, which is a signature piece in QVC. Look at my manicure, how great. This is the bee pin. And Joan, I was given 3 bee pins by Tony Tripoli, who was Joan Rivers' opening act, for my birthday one year. He gave me her actual bee pins, 3 of them. And here we go. And I love this pin. And Joan loved this bee pin in the QVC collection. It was her favorite piece. And this is the story. The bee is not anatomically correct to fly. It shouldn't fly. It's got a round bottom, it's heavy, it's got little wings. It shouldn't fly, and it does. It gets up and it flies and it defies the odds. And Joan related to that. She thought, if the bee can get up and keep going forward, then I could do it. We all can do it, especially in this time that we're living in. We can get up and we can use our wings. We can do what we think we can't do, like the bee. So that's the story on the bee pin. So
Yes.
it's very special.
Rosemary says the Joan bees are the best. Ivy has a question. How has Melissa reacted to your performance? Has she seen it? Does she know about it?
That's a good question. How do I answer that? No, she's been wonderful, very silent. She doesn't say much. She knows what I do. And she says, go for it. She's different than her mother. Let's leave it at that. She's not, what Joan was. Joan's from a certain ilk. I love that word. Different generation, and she's more inclusive and wants to, Melissa's a different generation. So she's and she's raising a son. So, she's in her own, so we don't have a lot of interaction, but I know she's doing well. And, she lost her father from suicide and her mother tragically. So, Mazel, God bless her. God bless her.
Joan actually appeared at QPAC at the Queensborough Performing Arts Center. It was such a great time that we had. It was a packed house. And I'm just laughing because I remember we had a few buses of senior groups coming to see the show, and they were late. And Joan was like, where are they? I go, they're coming. They're on their way. She was so funny. She was so devoted to her audiences. First of all, just like in the documentary that you mentioned,
yes,
Joan, she wanted to work. She loved to work. She said, if there was a day if she looked at her calendar and there was a day that was not booked or she wasn't working, it was turmoil for her.
Fear.
It was fierce. She wanted to work all the time, and she was so devoted to her fans. I remember while we were, she said, I hate that people are waiting for me to come on. Grab me the mic. Get me the mic. I get her the mic, and she started doing comedy from backstage just to keep people excited and engaged until she was ready to come on. I'm coming, and she started to do her comedy, and they were laughing before she even stepped foot on the stage. In fact, I have I have a picture or two from her appearance there. Let me show it. Hang on a minute. I'm taking you out just for 1 second.
Fabulous.
Hang on. and stay with us. Here's a picture. Here's a picture from her appearance at the theater. Oh, this has to be the "Can we talk?" That looks like the "Can we talk" pose, right? And here she is. Again, she was wearing this fabulous robe. She was so gorgeous. And then she comes on at the very end when she does her curtain call. And I don't know if this was all the time, and maybe Joe can tell us, but she came on as none other than the Statue of Liberty. She was so funny. She was really a great gal, and not at all insulting off the stage. Let me bring Joe back on. Not at all insulting.
No.
But in fact, I mean, she was just so wonderful. In fact, she was so good. First of all, she talked constantly. I think she must have gone at least 2.5 hours without an intermission. She just went. She wore these, high heels. And when she was leaving, of course, she has all the stuff that she sells on QVC. She had the scarves and the pins and so forth. And as she was leaving, she was dressing all of us as she was leaving. She would pull a scarf out of her bag and she'd say, "You need this," and she put, "You need this."
Oh,
And you need this, and this is what she would do. And it was interesting because as part of her rider, she asked to have someone there to do her hair. And I didn't want to bring in someone that I didn't know at all.
right.
So I went to my personal hairstylist and I said, "Eugene, fabulous guy." And I said, Eugene, I'm having a show, at the theater, and I need a hairstylist. Would you be available?" He said, "Yes, yes." And who will I be working on? I said, "Joan Rivers." He almost passed out. He said, "Joan Rivers." Oh, me. He used to call me Miss Sue. He goes, "Miss Sue, how am I supposed?" I go, "You're going to be fabulous." Well, long story short, he came and they became fast friends. And he then became her personal hairstylist
Wow.
whenever she was in New York. Whenever she was in New York, it was a great thrill for him. And I'm so glad I was able to introduce the two of them. What fun.
That is wonderful. No, she was very inclusive. She knew where she came from. She came from, and she had her doctor. Her father was a doctor. Her mother was a housewife, and she wanted more. If and she worked for it. If you've seen The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, on Netflix, they say it's sort of like Joan, the Jewish parents, and she started to do comedy. They wanted her to marry a doctor, but she wanted to have a voice and do comedy. And they say that's loosely based on Joan, sort of what they say. But she worked for everything she got, and she deserved it. But she always felt like, which was part of the charm, I think, the second banana. Always felt like if she would have seen the funeral, how they closed off Fifth Avenue for her funeral, she wouldn't have believed it, because she didn't really, I don't think, know. She didn't know to the extent that how we loved her. Her heart was so big, she didn't stop to think. She was always just moving. And I think she would have loved that day, Fifth Avenue closed down. She was just such a kind, giving person with her heart. And my point is, she knew where she came from, and she worked for it. And she always she would say to me, "Say yes to everything."
That's
Say
right.
yes to everything.
That's
And
right.
get in, and you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know, where it's going to lead you. And that's advice for all the viewers out there, my fans, and all of you watching. Say yes to everything. Do everything. Get the damn vaccine so we can get back to work. Let's do it. It's science. But
That's right.
besides, say yes. Go through every door. You don't know where it's going to take you, and that's how she lived her life. And as you know, she did stand up. She did Fashion Police. She directed a movie. She did the Tonight Show. She had her own show. She stepped in every medium, and she did it. And she did it. And she did it with a lot of tragedy in her life. Survivor of suicide. Her husband had nothing in the business at that time, and she was, and she rose like the bee. She
Uh,
rose and she
she was.
flew and she said yes to everything.
Joe, is it easy for you to turn on these characters, or do you have to sort of get into character? Or is it the makeup that helps you? What helps you make that
You
crossover?
know, once the pill kicks in, it kicked in about 7-Eleven.
Right,
No,
right.
it's really because Joe is. People say I'm funny. My good friends say, "Joe, you're funny, you're funny." But to get into this sort of, because I'm not only being funny as Joan, I'm making you believe I'm a woman. So I'm crossing gender. So if you
Mm,
think about it, I'm crossing gender. I'm being funny. I'm being a personality that the world knows. You know, if you watch RuPaul's Drag Race, which is fabulous, they're doing their own creation. So there's no way to judge it. You
that's
know, I'm,
true.
I'm doing, and you all have seen Joan. So I don't feel pressure with that in the least. I almost feel like good because I can do it because that's my gift. And you're going to see side by side. And I like that. I've
And
never
can you
created
just
my own
turn it
character.
on? I mean, can you just turn
I
it on?
can just, when I'm at a party with friends, a dinner party, I can try out some jokes and they listen. But to this degree, once, it's like Frosty the Snowman. I've said that once you put on the hat, once you put on the wig, happy birthday, it comes to life. You
You're
just
there.
go in that space and you just
Now,
you just do it.
you mentioned some of the other characters you have
Yes,
played: Barbara Streisand, Liza Minnelli, Gloria Estefan, and Michael. I mean, I want to see you play them all, but we have a little clip. We have a little
yes.
clip of some of your characters. May I play it for
Yeah,
our
let's play it.
viewers?
Let's play it. Thank you.
Okay, here we go. Here's Joe Posa as some of your other favorite personalities.
Are you dry down there? You're dry, dry, dry. You're full of shit. Dry. No? You take hormones. Okay, so you're savvy. You have money to do it. No drugs. You do natural. It's a gel. What do you do? Show us how you rub the gel on your vagina. Let's sit over here with the candle. Come over here. Let's see how you rub your. Where the hell are we?
Oh my goodness, that is crazy. That is just crazy. Do you which one is your favorite character? Do you have one?
Well, back when I was younger, Barbara Streisand. I love, love, love. So she was up there. But Joan now, no, Joan is live. The other acts were lip sync. That was
Mhm.
an evening at La Cage. Those clips are from Provincetown, which I played for 20 years. A lot of that. Now it's Joan because I love having a voice. I love doing comedy. But
Mhm.
they're all, it's like a child. You can't really pick your favorite. Am I right? So they
Right.
each give me something different, and they touch my soul. So I have to say they're all special in their own right. But I do love being live and having a voice and doing the comedy and hearing people laugh. It's just so wonderful. And just to add to, I didn't include them in that little montage. I was actually Tina Fey on 30 Rock. I was a double with her for just a sight gag, so I got to work and meet with her. And I was actually Erica Kane, Susan Lucci, on All My Children. Her character Erica Kane, a Halloween skit that we ran into each other at a nightclub dressed alike. And Susan Lucci, she's a New Yorker. She was so kind to me. So that was another experience. You could check out my website, joeposa.com, or
You,
my
you,
Facebook page, Joe Posa as Joan Rivers. But certainly it's been really an amazing journey. I feel very blessed and I really work very hard at it, but it's taken me all over the world and I'm very grateful.
Joan called you her favorite Joan Rivers impersonator. That is really incredible. Um, what have any other celebrities seen your Joan?
Any other well, let's see. Well, watching tonight is my friend Larry Sherman. He's not quite a celebrity, but he's uh, who. Yes, yes. Here we go. I was in Provincetown. I worked many years all over the town, but at the post office cabaret, Billy Stritch, who is Liza Minnelli's musical director,
That's
he
right.
saw me do Liza, and I sat on his lap. I went in the audience, and we're friends. But a great moment was at the post office cabaret. I was doing my act and I was doing Barbara Streisand, and who was in the audience? Her sister, Rosalind Kind.
Of course, Rosalind. We love Rosalind.
Rosalind is amazing. She saw my act and she was like, oh, "You're my sister, my God!" So that was just very special. And Joan seeing me was very special. And a lot of cabaret and Broadway people have seen my act, and it just keep moving forward. And it's just again, it's been extraordinary. And
And
again,
of course, being a dancer, I'm assuming really helps you with some of these characters. I mean, certainly
well,
Michael Jackson, Gloria
yes,
Estefan, and so
and
forth.
interestingly enough, I approach each character physically. I know there's method acting. I went to the American Academy of Dramatic Arts with my good friend Mark Wilkening, who's in LA watching as we speak, and I studied acting for a year. But I always wanted to dance. I have a lot of energy. But my point is, I have to see that I have to understand the physicality of each character, whether they're dancers or not. Joan is not a dancer, but I have to understand her movement. I have to know she's an older woman. She hunches over a little bit. I'm a dancer, so I approach the character physically first, and
Mhm.
then everything else will channel itself. Obviously, you do the research, you work on your look, but so certainly it's a physical. I work on the physical, and being a dancer, I tap into my physical side, and then I go from there. So that's very interesting. I
I
think.
understand that.
Mhm.
Personally, for me, I find performers, or I should say singers, that also can dance. I always find their shows to be more interesting because they have a whole. They really embody the whole. The story, the narration of the song, their body takes on a certain pose or position, and it helps to tell the story. I could always tell the dancers from the non-dancers.
You're absolutely correct. And Tony Tripoli, I mentioned earlier, he was Joan's head writer on Fashion Police for 5 years, and he was her opening act. And we worked together. He was then became my opening act, and we traveled the country and Mexico doing our act, and he gave me the bees, which was great. But my point is, he would say to me, Joe, a lot of people through the years have done Joan. People can look like Joan, they can even sound like Joan, but he said to me, "You smell like Joan."
Mm, wow.
And
Wow.
that, and he knew her in the dressing room, at the dinner table, at the bar. He knows what that is. I smell like Joan. So that's what I know that I give. And him saying that and seeing that makes it all worthwhile. It makes it all come full circle from my little bedroom in New York.
Well, we are coming to the end of our program. I'm just going to give a quick shout out to our viewers. If you have any additional questions, please ask them now in the chat and we will absolutely get to them. I want to say again, as always, all of our programs are free. So if you can, there is a donation link in the chat. You know, one of the things that makes this so much fun for us is that
Yes.
this is interactive. We don't really get this kind of interactive at the theater because, of course, you come and you see the show and we say hello and goodbye as you come and you go. But here we could actually speak to each other. Larry says, and you sound like Joan. You're right, Larry. But here we can talk to each other. So if you do have a comment or a question, you could ask it right now before we sign off. But I do want to say, of course, that this has been such a wonderful adventure for us, QPAC Live, and we will continue to bring you wonderful programming. And as always, it is free. So if you can, $5, $10, $50, whatever you can do to keep it all going, we would appreciate it. And we do want to say, of course, that all of our programs are on YouTube. So if you've missed any of our programs, and we've had so many fabulous programs from tribute to Frankie Valli and Neil Sedaka, Charles Brown, who played Smokey Robinson on Broadway. We have his Becoming Smokey. We've had so many wonderful programs over this year period. So do go to YouTube and type in Queensborough Performing Arts Center, and you can watch any of them. We are also live now on Queens Public Television for those of you that want to watch us on a bigger screen. So if you can make a donation, we really appreciate it. Before we go, we also want to say we're just going to give you another minute if you do have a question or comment. Before you go, Regina's giving us a shout out. Regina Vogelman, thank you. She says, great performance. Thank you for Regina for watching. We do want to give a shout out. Tuesday night, we play Name That Tune. Do you know we play Name That Tune every other Tuesday? Joe, we play Name That Tune.
That's great. I know
Which is
that.
a great program. And this week it is the One Hit Wonders. I'm going to take just a minute and let you get a sense of our crazy and wonderful and fabulously talented DJ Bucciarelli, who hosts the show. Take a look at this.
Name That Tune, sponsored by the Queensborough Performing Arts Center, is a very real, absolutely live, interactive virtual game show coming to you every other Tuesday. Hosted by DJ Bucciarelli, Name That Tune is entirely free, and you can win very real prizes. Check out the Queensborough Performing Arts Center on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and of course on their website. Visit www.visitqpac.org for more info.
Isn't he cute?
So adorable. Single?
No, he's not single. He's not single, but he is just.
He's so cute. He's Italian. Look at that nose.
He's just.
You know what that means.
He's just the most delicious, I must tell you, and talented. Before we go, we are going to show one parting video of you, which I think is just fabulous. And I do want to mention again to our viewers that we're taking it to the streets. So come on along. Come on and listen to the Lullaby of Broadway. We're bringing it to you here in Queens, Bayside, with safety protocols in place. We hope you join us. If you're more interested in these programs and you'd like to find out more information, www.visitQPAC, QPAC, you've got it behind me, QPAC.org. Joe, we want to thank you so very much. You are just a doll. And if you would allow us to to go out tonight with your parting video, we've got, Ivy says, can Joe please come back as Barbara Streisand?
Oh, wouldn't that be fun? Wouldn't
So
that be fun?
maybe we'll do that. Joe, you truly are. Let me put this comment up. You truly are Joan, and Susan, you are truly our angel. Thank you so much, Rosemary. Thank you both so much. And without further ado, may we show the video?
Yeah. Before we go, I just want to say to everyone, stay well, stay safe, be kind to each other. These are challenging times, but we're getting through. We're getting through. There is light at the end of the tunnel, unless you're Princess Diana. But no, there is. So be kind, get the vaccine, help your neighbors. This has been a learning lesson. There are a lot of takeaways this past year. So let's take them, remember them as we move forward into the world. So thank you all. Thank you to my friends, fans for watching. And Susan, my new BFF. And thank you so much. And yeah, let's roll the video. Okay.
Have a great weekend. We'll see you soon.